Hi, it's Lorina again at Jidon Library. I'm just coming to you today with our newest project. It's a recycle project. Tomorrow is uh, Earth Day, so I thought we would do a recycle project. So there's the owl. It's made out of old jeans. I think I have one kit left, but there should be a bunch of you out there with my kits already. So um, glad to see that going. The beginning of May, we're doing a couple things. For May the 4th, you can pick it up on the 3rd or anytime that week. We're doing Grogu. He's the one off of The Mandalorian, so it's like a kind of like a baby Yoda, but he actually is a little light. So he lights up. You can't really see it too much in there, but there's a little tea light here. So you can pick up a kit for that beginning May 3rd, and that'll be throughout the week while supplies last. And then also the week of the 3rd, you can pick up our Mother's Day craft. It's a little beaded angel. I have kits made up for that. And like I said, you can start picking it up the 3rd all week until we run out. And I will be doing this one virtually on the 5th at 11. The Grogu, we don't have a virtual class on that, but it's got instructions and it's really easy to make. So, alrighty. So, if you picked up the kit, you should have, and I stuffed it all in the leg. There's no sewing for this project. I did some sewing for you because I really didn't want to have you have to glue the bottom of the pant leg. This one, I'm going to do that, but I figure I'd show you how to do that. I think there might be a couple kits that might have the leg where you got to glue it instead of most of them. You were gonna have the leg like that, and it's gonna have all your stuff stuffed in it. So you'll need to take all that stuff out, and you should have stuff for the eyes and kind of the belly. There's black material for the wings. And there's another, I mean, you can use the black for under the eyes also. I kind of like the look that gave. I did do a smaller owl, and I just did the black. I didn't do a different color underneath. But yeah, you can do whatever size you want. If you don't use a pant leg, though, you're going to have to do a little bit of sewing. But you just need basically a little rectangular bag that you can put your stuff in. So you should have eyes in there, and I love the big eyes, so you should all have big eyes. You should have some embroidery floss, that's to tie the top. Once again, I said the black for the wings and the eyes. And you should have some beans and some batting. Okay, so you should have all that stuff in there. The only thing you might need are some scissors and hot glue. I'm going to use hot glue and tacky glue. My little owl here, I used only hot glue before, and his eye popped off. And so I'm going to kind of show you a little trick when I get there. Okay. So first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take your little pant leg pocket thing here and flip it right side out. So your seam is going to be on the inside. So now you have a little bag here. Okay. I'm going to take some of the beans here. And then, like I said, some of you may have one that you're going to have to glue the bottom, and I'll be doing that one here in just a second. But for right now, I'm going to put some beans in the bottom. This is to help it to be able to sit up more. And one thing you could do too, if you wanted, is you could take a pocket or maybe the pocket part of your jean and have a pocket on here, and you could use it for remote control, your phone, whatever you wanted. Okay. I got a little bit of beans in there. Now I'm gonna take my stuffing. That's probably gonna be way too much for this one. Some of you are gonna have different sizes, so. Okay. I'm gonna stuff that pretty good. I think that's pretty good. What I kind of did too is I kind of folded that over, but I'm gonna get my embroidery floss ready. So I'm gonna need 2 pieces there. So I'm kind of fold them over, just so you have more of a nicer looking fold instead of having the rough edges. So I folded that over, and I'm going to take my floss and I'm going to kind of wrap it around the ear a little bit. And then I'm going to tie it. I think I'm going to do one tie, and then I'm going to wrap it again, and then I'm going to tie it in a knot. Actually, I want a bigger ear, so hold on. Let's do that over. And you can kind of adjust it whatever size ear you want, but I just kind of want a little bit. So I'm going to move the floss just a little bit further down on the ear so I can have a bigger ear. Okay. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this other side. I feel like I'm in a rodeo and doing the tie-in on the steer, but some of you probably know what I'm talking about. The steer wrestling. You wrap those legs up and tie them, but you're just doing owl ears, so. Just make sure you tie it pretty good. And then just trim off your string. Okay. So you can kind of adjust it. You can use whichever side you want. I think I'm going to use this side here. Even though it's got the tie, you could take and have that in the back so you don't see your little ends, but I'm not too worried about that one. Okay. So I've got my circles here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put them together for a second, but I'm going to do just a little trim, or not trim, but little cuts, maybe a half an inch in and about a half an inch apart. It kind of just gives it kind of a little texture. It's nothing major. So if you don't want to do that, you don't have to. Okay. So what you can do, I'm not so worried about the felt on this one, but you could take a little bit of the tacky glue and have it in the center. And then take your hot glue. Now this is definitely what I want to do with the Google eyes, just because the hot glue will hold it quick and the tacky glue will hold it long. So while the tacky glue's dry and the hot glue will hold it, so then you don't lose your items. So let me just do that. Like I said, more for the Google part of the eyes, but we'll just do it that way for now. Now on the black circles, I think I'm just gonna hot glue it, just because time. You can do whatever you want on that, but just kind of put it in the center there. It's hard to tell the back and the front side of that, but there is. So there you got that going. Now I'm going to take my Google Eyes, put some of the tacky glue in the center, just kind of a glob there. And then I just put the glue, hot glue around the tacky glue, and I'm going to stick it on there. I'll do the same thing here. Like I said, if you don't have tacky glue, just use your hot glue. It's fine. It just may pop off at some time. You might have to glue it back on. Okay, so there's your other eyeball. Is they looking cute so far? You also should have a little beak in there. And I'm gonna put some hot glue on him. I think I need to get some more, another glue stick in there, but I'll do that here in a second. So there's your little beak. I'm gonna add a glue stick here. And then you've got your wings. And let's see, that's the front side. And take a little bit of the glue here. You don't glue the whole thing, you just kind of glue the top of it there. Kind of figure out where you want it. Like I said, you've got different sizes. If you wanted, if your bag is kind of smaller like that, you could trim the wings down. And all I do for that is you just follow along however on the inside that you want to make it smaller. So I'm just leaving this one the way it is for now. I think he's kind of cute. And then I'll put this other wing on there. And there's your little owl. Isn't he cute? How easy is that? Now the next one, I'm gonna go through it again, but this time I have the actual pant leg where it's open all the way through, okay? So I'm gonna flip that right side out. And we have the narrow part that's gonna be the bottom. So I'm gonna kind of straighten out my pant leg. Let me see, I might have to move this down a little bit so you can see better. So any of you that have that, or if you want to make more and you've got your pant legs, you're going to do that. You're just going to kind of fold it over. I'm going to do it twice so you don't have the cut line that you're going to see. So I am going to put a little bit of glue at the first part. And we'll flip it over. And then this one I'm gonna put the glue on the upper part of the leg. Let me put a little bit more. We want to hold it really good there. If you have a sewing machine and you'd rather sew it, just while it's flipped wrong side out, just sew the bottom and then flip it over again. So I'm just gonna hold this for a second here and let it kind of make sure it cools good. If you had something heavy you could put on there, you could do that and then cut out your other pieces. I think we're okay. So I'm going to cut out my eyes here for this one. And I usually don't move my scissors. I move the thing that I'm cutting. Now, if you've got a bigger piece of material, you can't do that, but for these littler things you can. And I do that when I do paper too. So let's get this one here. kind of going fast, got a little crooked there. Now, for the black material, I folded the material in half. And then I always try to get as much as I can out of a piece of material, so I go in real close on a lot of these. So then I'm gonna cut around the pattern on that. And I did the same thing with the wing. Fold that over, fold it in half there, put the wing on there. Big thing about this is making sure that your wing kind of stays. You can pin it on if you want and do it that way. I'm just going to do it kind of quick here. So it might not be perfect, but nothing ever is perfect. And I think that's what makes homemade crafts nice, is they don't have to be perfect. They are what they are. And every little imperfection gives them a little bit of personality, I think. So I'm going to save my patterns. So now I've got the two wings, I've got the two eyes. I'm going to go ahead and just do the cuts here like I did on that last one. Okay, so those, oh, I forgot to put the belly on that other one. And you know what? This belly is going to be a little bit too big, so I'm going to cut it down. I'm going to fold this one over. And just kind of estimate where I want it. It's still a little big, so let me cut it down a little bit more. It's always better to have to cut a little bit more off than to cut it too short to begin with, and then you don't have it where you want it. So I'm going to have to pull my wings back a little bit. Something about the hot glue is you can do that. So sorry about forgetting to do that one. I should have done that one kind of first thing. So I'm going to put that on there. I guess you wouldn't have to have the kind of belly if you didn't want it, but I'm going to put it on there. So a little more glue on those wings, glue them back down. I'll put a little bit more glue on the beak too. There we go. Almost forgot that. Okay. So this one is gonna need cut down a little bit too. Trim that. And just follow along, try to do the same amount along the edge. That way you have the same shape. Okay, that should be okay. We'll see when we stuff it. It might need cut down a little bit more, but I'm going to put some beans in here. Once again, the beans are to kind of give it something that'll give it a flatter bottom there so it'll stand better. Now this one's going to be a little different because this pant leg's a little bit smaller, so I'm not going to put too much in there. And then I'm going to put my stuffing. What's nice about this craft is I did not have to buy anything for this. We had all the supplies, so it's kind of nice. I'm gonna fold that over. Kind of hold that there. I'm gonna get my, oh, I had some more string. There we go. Hold that, and I'm gonna wrap this around there, kind of tight. And then I'm gonna tie it on there. Okay. And we'll do the same thing on this other side. Go ahead and tie that. Trim that thread. These ears aren't as far out, but you can do them however you want. If you want them further out, just when you tie it, make sure they're out a little bit more. I'm gonna leave that like that though. Yeah, definitely need a little bit more cut off on that. There we go, that's better. I'm gonna glue that on before I forget, right? And try not to burn yourself, it's not fun. Okay, I'm gonna need another glue stick in here. You know what? I think I'm gonna put my beak on first here. This beak's a little odd shaped, but we're okay. I'm not gonna worry about it. Because for one thing, this felt is gonna cover it. And I'm not putting glue on the part that I cut. That way you can it can kind of move if you want to fluff it out a little bit. And you can cut these eyes down a little bit if you want, but I like big eyes, so. You can overlap it a little bit if you want. Glue the center eyes on. This would be a cute craft for like a Girl Scout troop or something like that. Or even for girls' camp, you could do that. The only thing would be the hot glue. You'd have to make sure you had some power or something. So there's that. It's kind of cute without even the eyes on it yet, but we're gonna put those on. Once again, I'm going to put some tacky glue in the center. I'm not even going to spread it around. Put the hot glue on, just around the other glue, and stick it on there. Same thing. And stick it on there. Look how cute. Now, the wings. Kind of figure out where I want them. And just put it on the upper part of the wing. Like that. And then I'm going to stick it down on here. You know what? I'm going to go under. I'm going to lift that eye up a little bit and go under the eye. It's kind of like the eye on the outside. Again, I'm going to lift that eye up and put the wing down here. And there you have it. So you got the one where I sewed the bottom for you. So like I said, you can do those if you want, or you can do a totally no sew and hot glue the bottom. I just worry that this will come out eventually, but you may not have these forever anyway, so who knows. Once again, don't forget, the beginning of May, pick up the Grogu kit and the angel for your mom. So, or grandma, whoever. So thanks for joining me. Another easy craft, stuff that you might have most of the stuff at home. Do a bunch of them. Get your grandkids together and make a bunch of little owls. So thanks for joining me, and we'll see you next time.